Do not make the mistake of focusing on things that are outside of your control instead of focusing on the things that are inside of your control. It's really easy to get upset about the current state of political affairs, or about high interest rates, or about market shifts, or any of the other things that are outside of our control that impact our day-to-day life and our business and everything that goes on around us. But anytime we allot focus, time, and energy on things that are outside of our control, that's taking away time that we could be spending on focusing on things that are inside of our control. There are processes and systems in our everyday life, both in our relationships, in our business, in everything that we do have control over. And that's where we want to focus and spend our time. You can't control the weather, but you can control putting up rain collection devices when it's raining. You can control putting up shade control structures so that you shield yourself from the blaring sun, right? Like, you can't control the weather, but you can control things that help you deal with the weather or help you benefit by the weather, right? What's the great serenity prayer from AA? That God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, right? That's what I'm talking about, guys. That is such sage wisdom. I had somebody recently who was complaining that another person in their company got all the good leads. And I'm like, man, first of all, that is absolute and utter horseshit. Like, everybody has access to the same leads, and that person wasn't thinking, well, that other person's been building up their pipeline for over a year. So they're looking at progress much further along than where they're at, but they're trying to compare themselves to that. And that doesn't make sense. And let's even say that it was true. Let's say that one person was given better leads than somebody else. Well, that's outside of your control. What you can control is how many dials you make, how many text messages you send out, how many offers you make, right? Those are the things that we can control. And that's where we need to be focusing our time, energy, and attention, right? I was watching a podcast the other day with a guy who's doing 150 deals a year and $3.7 million in revenue. And for a couple split seconds, I was like, oh man, I need to be doing that. And then I thought about it for a minute longer. Well, that person's been in business for 9 years, and me comparing myself to that person is only going to make me feel worse about where I am. But when I compare myself to where I was a year ago, all of a sudden I feel pretty good. When I compare myself to where I was 2 years ago, all of a sudden I feel pretty good. So everybody, take the piece of advice and focus on the things that you can control. Focus on your processes and your systems, and I promise that that will get you farther than worrying about things that you can't control. I appreciate everybody who likes, subscribes, and follows. Keep doing that, guys. I really appreciate it.